clock on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left-hand side, Magnus Carlsen down to 9 seconds. Fabiano with 35. He's putting pressure on Magnus on the clock, even more so the board. Oh my gosh, Magnus has to move.
Oof, Magnus really cutting it fine. He needs to just escape this game. He needs to try and bail out with a draw. He's trying to repeat right now. Second time we've seen this position. Can Fabiano create winning chances? Hustle Magnus on the clock.
And there was in the round robin where Fabiano did decline the repetition and went on to lose that game with the white pieces. He, for the second time in the Champions Chess Star Finals, declines a repetition against Magnus.
Magnus pokes his king out of its hiding place there, pokes it out, staring down in the center. And, okay, Fabiano dancing around with his queen. And look at the line of the totem pole on the d-file right now. Black's queen is doing a great dance, coming all the way around, but White's king is seeking shelter on the queen side. What a journey, what an adventure.
And if we look at the board on the left-hand side, all of Magnus's pieces are protected. He made sure that if you take this pawn in f3, I'm going to get the passed pawn. So Fabi is stuck playing a waiting game, preventing that d5 pawn on the left-hand side of the screen from advancing. He places his queen, he blockades it. But Magnus doing an amazing job getting his own king to safety. So now it's not like the white king's in danger, but great active play from Fabiano.
These players are so strong. Magnus, how did he imagine that? How did he find that creative idea? But Fabiano is trying to blow open the new shelter of the white king. It's getting really dramatic on that left board. Wesley So, meanwhile, still in a bit of trouble against Abdusattorov, but still within the realms of safety on the other semi-final clash. Ooh, it's hard to predict. What do we think is going to happen? Will we see a winner in one of the semi-finals?
I'm just amazed to watch the king match by Magnus Carlsen and then Fabiano Caruana striking on that side of the board, not wasting any time to get to it. And he's also eyeing a potential a-pawn push at some moment. And I see, Robert, that something catches your attention.
Yeah, that a-pawn push for Fabiano, but both players down near 10 seconds. And now on the right-hand side, the advantage is going for Black. Nodirbek Abdusattorov and that bishop, I mean, up the pawn, like David said. But yeah, I have to be focused on Magnus Carlsen's king. He goes after Fabi's king. Fabi says no. So whose pawns are weaker? Whose king is safer? It's the ultimate question.
Yeah, it feels like Magnus's king has been in trouble for so long, but no way through. The moves are coming thick and fast on both boards right now.
Can you go a3?
Valuation bars dropped. Fabiano, is he winning?
Oh my God.
The black rook can land on the second rank.
Oh, rook f2, it's a good start, but that queen on c3, it covers all the bases.
Wow, it feels like there's tactics in the air. Magnus offering a trade of queens now. Fabiano will say no. Look at that white king. It's naked all on its own.
Wow.
Coming in and behind.
Can he take another pawn and get some passes of his own? But that d-pawn will start running. Queen c4 check. That's a deadly threat.
Wow, Fabiano's now 2 pawns to the good. Surely he's going to turn this material advantage into victory.
And if he does start pushing the pawn, there was a threat of a3, and finally it does arrive on the board. Offering a queen trade, he will reject it because it's all about getting to Magnus's king right now.
So he gives away a pawn to open a file on the left-hand side of your screen. The white king is lacking shelter, so Magnus doing everything he can to put his pieces in front of it. But Fabi's going after the d5 pawn, and he's got passers of his own. At some point, Fabiano can start pushing his pawns, but some nervous moves from both players.
Real nerves now showing Fabiano giving a check with the black rook. The problem is Black's pawns act as shelter. He doesn't really want to push them until necessary, but big threat. The black rook threatening to go to f3 with a nasty pin on the white queen. All the checks. Look at that white king, though. Just too bare. No protection around it. Fabiano needs to pounce, needs to win this game. He's outplayed Magnus.
Whoa! And there's a check on b2. Is that super dangerous for White's king, forcing it on the a file?
So the king can run. The question is, can it hide? And it's hiding in front of that pawn on b4. On the left-hand side of your screen, you see Magnus's king. There aren't too many pieces remaining. He's out in the open. Can that d-pawn suddenly become a queen? Is Magnus actually the one with the upper hand?
It's really possibly turning around right now. All 3 results possible. A few checks. The position repeating itself. Will Fabiano bail out with a draw? This position's been seen already. If he keeps checking the white king...
Fabi wants more.
He wants more. He's playing for the win. No safe squares for Magnus's king.
You have to go on to the c file.
You have to step forward. You have to run forward with the white king.
But I think it's losing. You go up to c7, it goes diagonally. The black queen steps up 1 square to a7 with check. And I think it's an mating net. The rook will slide over at the end. I think that Magnus is about to get checkmated.
And Magnus, he slows down, but he's got 6 seconds to decide now. The rook can go on to the c file and win the queen.
He gives up his queen, Magnus Carlsen. Surely Fabiano's going to take it. But look at the white pawn. The remaining white pawn is so far advanced. Still not over yet. Magnus has lost his queen, but he's still fighting.
He's fighting because it's all relying on these 2 pawns moving ahead. And Fabiano Caruana on seconds. Can he convert this with just 4 seconds on the clock?
I think he made those quick moves to gain the increment. Reminder to everybody, 3 seconds added every single move you make. So a quick check, go block that pawn, and then push your own pawns. Fabi can win this game. Even if he loses queen for those 2 pawns, then he can push the pawns of his own. A rook can't stop, but he gave it away with check.
Wow, he just blundered the pawn with check. He should have pushed the other one, the G pawn. Wrong choice there, and Magnus is alive. Look at those white pawns, paralyzing the black queen.
And this can be scary for black because now the queen can't move anywhere with the check without allowing the D pawn to promote. And Magnus does he have enough to hold this?
Well, the problem for Magnus is that G-pawn will be a decoy. It's about to sacrifice itself. The rook on D3 can't move because the D7 pawn in front of the queen will be captured. Both sides, they're struggling a bit here. Fabi doesn't know where to go, but now it's winning for Magnus. He brings his rook all the way down.
Rook it?
He chooses the wrong square. He trapped his own queen.
And it's handshakes. Magnus Carlsen does the unbelievable. He wins down a queen.
Wow, miracles do happen. That was crazy stuff, and we will break it down in more detail later. Magnus Carlsen, on the brink of defeat, turns it around and wins.
Unbelievable turnaround. Fabiano completely outplayed Magnus Carlsen, but by Fabi's own words, Magnus is so resilient that you may get a winning position, but actually securing the full point, super difficult.